Well, he bataka make. But Jaden Chase, they have to make the fans them know what really are going on.
Blessings Nation, and now welcome to the channel. Yeah, man, Jaden Chase, another one we're going to bring another reasoning on the topic of current affairs. So if you're new to the channel, well, I'm suggesting that you click the subscribe icon and, of course, let your voice be heard. Like and share the video, and, of course, drop a comment in the comment section. Now, let's get right into the reasoning. Now, Nation, it is clear. If we want a better Jamaica, the corruption that exists in the Jamaica Constabulary Force must be addressed. Now, recently we see a former member of the ruling party forward out and attack about corruption at the highest level of government. Now we have a member of the security forces who is saying that the corruption to which the people speak of runs deep and is prominent within the security forces. A nation that want to look like it bigger than Indicom, as a direct application has been made to the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. I could hear all the wagwan and they will continue the reasoning, Nation. Of course, I want to listen.
Unnamed person in the High Command. The disgruntled police investigator says she was compelled to blow the whistle recently, but according to her, she's been victimized since raising the matter. She says she's been the victim of a decade-long push by senior members of the JCF to block her being promoted in the organization.
This actually started in 2011 when I applied for an accelerated promotional program which was dubbed the New Accelerated Promotional Program, the NAP. Sometime during the process of elimination for that program, I attended a party at the Commissioner's residence, and an incident took place with a high-ranking member of High Command. And from then, several attempts have been made to take me off that program.
Yes, Nation, and now let's continue the reasoning. Now, first and foremost, the Jamaica Constabulary Force and its members are what we will consider the first line responders when we are talking about crime and violence. And this point of view has been long expressed by not only citizens, but also members of the security forces themselves, that the policies and the type of policing being pushed by those at the head is not working when we talk about the in the streets level or at the community level where majority of these issues are taking place. And there's no way we can deny the statements from Mr. Renito Adams that said that certain high-ranking members have political allegiances, and that's something the people them know, because remember, and that the civil servants' vote sometimes ultimately decides which party will govern the country, which might seem far-fetched to some, seeing that there are more civilians than civil servants. What is not far-fetched are the corruption that these officers speak about, and seeing that crime and violence is the leading cause of death on the island. Issues of security and issues taking place within the security forces must be addressed. It would seem crazy to have criminals fighting crime, right? Well, if what this officer is saying is true, then a war take place. Think about it, people. If what she's saying is true, and the criminal mindset is prominent within the force, do we indeed have criminals tasked with taking care of the issue of crime? And situations like these only reflect poorly on the JCF. As a matter of fact, it undermines the work done by the hard-working men and women that have enlisted themselves in the JCF. And remember, there are good people and hard-working people within law enforcement. There are people who want the issues where take place on the island to stop. There are people who want the high rate of crime and violence on the island for decrease. Now, for an example, we can look at what take place in St. Thomas when the youth them get take away. And it was the combined efforts of residents and the security forces that led to the speedy recovery of both youth. Now, you see some other issues or some other situations we see take place now in the city communities. And in many of these instances and situations, there has been loss of life. Looking at the previous example, it was the combined efforts that resolved those issues. And the man with them say commit the act still not been arrested by the security forces. But them still a look. But only through a joint effort. I'm gonna say it. For all the people may talk about crime and violence in the inner city and things that may take place in the inner city, I'm gonna say this. It is a combination of situations that have happened for decades now, and that lead to what take place in the inner city. And now taking place in our rural communities because we can see it as it happens day by day. The reprisals, the turf taking over. We see it because we see it take place in our inner city communities, in our Kingston and St. Andrew over the decades. But without a combined effort from the people themselves and the security forces and the people tasked to pass legislation, the SOEs and the SOZOs have not worked in urban communities rather, because that is military style policing. You can't put communities under siege, communities where have the blue collar working people. Just like how you can't go uptown, go do it neither, because these communities house the CEOs, the company executives, the board of directors, the principals, and the business owners of the private sector. And them should know this, because as we say, we see that take place in the rural communities now, and we see it take place before in the inner city communities. We don't have enough investigators. We don't have enough detectives. We don't have enough technological advancements within the police force to gather the right evidence and get the right people off the streets. As stated, there's a disconnect between the people and the individuals who have been tasked with securing their community. And with things like this that take place, where members of the security forces that say, yeah man, corruption exists. They have experienced it firsthand. Well, of course, that made the members of communities hesitant and less trusting of the security forces. And that alone made the job 10 times as hard for them. And on top of all of that, based on their statements, they have to work with corrupt co-workers. Now, think about it. And we are talking about the issue of crime and violence. One of the biggest issues, if we now put it alongside poverty, the literacy rate, the high inflation, the food insecurity. If we now go stack it beside these other things, crime and violence are still one of the biggest issues that take place on the island. People, I'm going to point this out to now again. The difference between the African countries and African states, Caribbean countries, and Dubai, a leadership, another isle. Would you believe that numerous countries in Africa have oil plus other resources, such as whether it be gold, the things that them youth need to make electronics, even the very rubber. But think about it, because of lack of knowledge, the people perish. And out of our people lacking knowledge, we lack leaders. Some would say clueless individuals leading the clueless. People more talk to me in the comment section. As I say, this situation is a situation where affect all citizens residing on the island, even the people that visit. Recently, when the US advised their travel or made their travel advisory, they stated that crime and violence, separate and apart from Big C19, was one of their major concerns. When they talk about the safety of their citizens while visiting the island. So talk to me in the comment section. You know the sentiments, and for those who don't, well, first and foremost, I'm going to say this. If you're new to the channel, just a pass through, but you like the reason and of course you like the point of view, well, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon and then the bell icon and of course put it on all. And this is how you know will be notified of all fresh content. As soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here upon the platform, the like icon is also in close proximity to the share icon. So drop a like and then bust a share. The share icon and the arrow icon. You can use the arrow icon to share the video by any platform of your choosing. You know what I mean? Share the video, get it out there, tell a friend, tell them sister and them brother them for check out the channel, check out the reasoning and join the discussion. You join the discussion via the comment section. It won't be 24/7, never lack yet. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. But other than that, drop your thoughts, your comments, and yes, your opinions is there. And we can continue the reasoning via the comment section. Now you know the sentiments, and for those who don't, well, first and foremost, I'll move settings fam. And no, we don't need no ladder. And my sentiments for you and yours is of course we wanna live, love, and prosper. And stay tuned until the reason again.